Hello everybody and welcome back to Gear Junky Garage. And in short, we're going to be doing the bars today. I don't know if you saw the other video, but basically if you did, you know why we're shop changing the bars out, because I bent the living hell out of these doing something stupid and we need to change them out. So this kind of comes a little earlier than I expected to change them out, but nevertheless I was going to do this some point in time. So if you've watched other videos, this one's going to be a pretty much step-by-step how to get these off, how to get the new ones on, and you're going to be going through it with me because I've never done this before. So this is going to be first time for me. So if you see me struggling, you understand that it might be a struggle for you, or hopefully this video will stop you from having the same struggles. I don't know. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. If we make mistakes, well, you know, you'll learn from me, I guess, because I've never done this before. So it's going to be a, you know, trial by error. Well, hopefully not trial by error. Hopefully we get it right the first time. That's what we want. But if anything happens, you know, you'll be right there with me doing it. So let's go get it going. All right, so first thing you need to do if you have hand guards is take the hand guards off of it if they're however they're attached. The one thing I don't have is the new expanding plugs for these. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm going to have to play around with that. If you have a system that has that, you may want to get new expanding plugs for it. I'm going to come up with something one way or the other. We'll make it work. I might have to order something else extra, but I'm not really too worried about that just now. But first, get these detached and loosened up so that they can go back on the new bar. I'm first going to take and just loosen that, and because I'm using the shock mount type, I don't have to do anything else but just take that bar end off. You might have to take the other clamp off the inside just to get that all, or you could do it off because it should be attached, but it might make it easy to get the rest of this off. Now the Zeta kit actually takes a 6mm Allen, so if you put them on, you have that stuff for you. Now we got to just do the controls, so we'll get right to that. Alright, so on the throttle side it is a 10mm, so we're just going to loosen these up. I think it should slide right off. If not, we'll have to take the whole clamp off. That's for the mirror and brake lever. Now what I'm going to do, and this is marked up, so what I'll do is I'll take these two screws off and put them right back on once I get it unclamped here, so they stick with it exactly the way it came off. Maybe you have a different plan, but that's how I'm going to do it. So get it right off of there. Just kind of put it right back together so we don't lose anything for now. I'm sure later on I'm going to be scrounging around looking for parts that I somehow misplaced, because I do that a lot. But try not to do that this time. Now next part is the bar clamp itself here that clamps the throttle in. That's all Phillips. So let's go get a Phillips screwdriver. Preferably, I think a longer one might do this better. So yeah, you're going to have to move the Zeta kit around a little bit. So let's get to these. I think you just loosen this one up just a little bit. And then these two here. Hopefully you're getting this. Come on. Oh, that's on there. Good. I guess it'd have to be. There we go. Alright, these controls are very tight here, so we're going to just have to unwind the whole thing and split it off of there. I'm thinking yeah, that's just going to slide. There we go. Might just leave that loose, and once I get the bar undone, we'll just slide that off so we don't have to mess around with getting the controls off. But that should be fine. So put all your screws, nuts, bolts somewhere safe, because we don't want to lose them. And this is going to be the same thing on this side. I think, no, we're going to be an Allen. So this side's going to be an Allen. Alright, found it. I found something that fits anyway, so you just want to loosen it up. And get this out of the way. Oh, I see. It's Phillips underneath for the, I think that's Phillips. Yeah, it's Phillips underneath for the rest of your control there. But this is going to have to be unclamped completely. There's not enough room for you to slide it off with the cables, but that's no big deal. Again, we'll just take these screws off and we'll put it back on so we don't lose everything. If I can ever get the screw out of here. There we go. I wanted to do mirrors, but I don't know what I want to go with, so with the project being a little bit ahead of when I wanted to do it, I decided to not buy anything else than what just I needed. So eventually I think I'll change these mirrors out to something else, but I don't know what yet, so still waiting to figure that one out. But alright, we're just going to lay that to the side, and we're going to get our Phillips screwdriver again and undo the other part of that, and everything should come off. Alright, now for this, just 2 screws from underneath to get the directional side off here, the left control, electronic control, and that grip is obviously stuck on there. We don't need to cut it off because it is pretty much going to be gone anyways with the bar. So otherwise, if you were somehow saving this, you'd have to cut that off. I don't know why you'd be even doing that. Why would that be a thing? I don't know. But yeah, you don't need to cut the grip off because we're not saving that for anything. So now we have all our controls other than this. There's 2 tabs here you can push for these little pull up on. Should undo that little wire tie that they give you, and same on the other one, and we're free. And we are free to pretty much now take the rest of the bar off. Now with the foam off, you can clearly see how bad it got bent. These bars are done. They're not good for anything anymore. But yeah, they are totally screwed up. Actually, when you loosen these 2 up, those might loosen up. We'll see if they actually can be. You can probably get a wrench right in there. It's all 10mm for the bar. Where's my 10? This is 11, so this is a 10 if I put them back correctly. So we'll get the 10 on there. Yep, loosen that right up and should pull it right off. So that's the bar part of it. Get that right out of there. Yeah, this is it's kind of scary trying to get into stuff like this. There you go, you just move the bar. That's the simplest way to do. I was thinking a little half-ass backwards there, I guess. But see, that's what happens when you start getting into a project like this. And there you have it. Of course, this one's going to stick on there. Come on. You're not going to slide for me? Oh, that one's a little tight still. Alright, well, make sure you just loosen everything up enough, and that should slide right off. There's my screwdriver. There we have it. Junk. Oh, yeah, good. One of my bar ends came out. Hey, there's a technique. Now get your little plugs out of there. Alright, so these Pro Taper universal bar mounts, they fit right where the other bar mounts were because obviously these are too small. But I thought I was going to have to remove these, but you don't. You leave these exactly where they are, which is a good thing because I don't want to mess with that. And these just fit right in, and you just kind of lightly start your bolts. I don't know if you saw, you might not have seen that. You just slide in there. This is the way I believe I have to have it, the outward. It fits the bar nice. I kind of tested a little bit. This doesn't fit exactly in. You'll see it rocks around a little bit. You can't get it all the way in. Once you start snugging it down, it'll fit right in there nice and tight. So don't worry about that. As far as I can tell, that's going to be not an issue. Now, I have a torque wrench because you got to torque these to 15 foot-pounds. I believe that's what it was. I'll check that in a moment just so I'm not lying to you. But just, you know, get it in there, snug it up with the ratchet, and then torque it down. I'm not sure if you should or not. It doesn't say in the directions. I'll go over it again myself, but it doesn't say to put Loctite on these. I'm not sure if that'd be a good thing or a bad thing, but I really would like to make sure those don't come back out again. But that's pretty much how they're going to be set up. Oh, the bar fits right on there nicely, and Obviously got to take the pad off to do it, but there you go. That'll be the bar mount, and these are pretty nice looking, I think, and it'll be really cool. But yeah, that's gonna be awesome. That fits on nicer than I thought. I thought I was gonna have to mess around with getting those off of there or something like that. Again, I've never done this before, so my ignorance is you know, just one of those things where I think a lot of people, you know, start a project thinking something. Well, understand that this is going to be a little bit more simpler than you think, and it's just is this easy to go over to a 7/8 bar. I'm sorry, from a 7/8 bar to an 1 1/8 bar. So that's that, and all you're gonna do is torque those down. I'm probably, even though it's not saying to do so, and it may be a major bad thing to do, I don't know, but I'm going to put a little dab of the blue Loctite on those. I think I'm going to do that, and just to make sure those never back out under the bar, and I think we'll be all right. No problem. And let me just check that on the instructions. It did say 15 foot-pounds, I believe. 15 to 17 foot-pounds of torque. So that's what you want to put on those bolts. If you've never used a torque wrench, they're very simple, they're easy to pick up, and you'll just notice that the bar end here, hopefully you can see that, it moves a little bit. What you want to do is make sure that this stays level when you're torquing it. You don't want it to be on one side or the other. You want to kind of put it so you're balancing it on the pin, and just slowly bring it to 17, or you know, foot-pounds, 15 to 17 foot-pounds, and that's all you need to do. Just do each one slowly. You might have a couple different, you could go, this is the simplest torque wrench, you know, you can buy. You can go digital, more expensive, whatever. You're not really necessary, and just follow your torque, you know, what they say for torque, and you should be good, and they shouldn't be a problem. They always do want you to recheck these though. It's you should have done that with the original one either. Also, always make sure your bars stay tight and not a problem. And these are the solid mount. They make a rubber mount too, but I went solid. Sounded better to me. But there are different mounts for universal applications. But these fit nice. They do work on the bike, no problem. It looks like. And this happens to be the universal bar mount kit. Looks like it's. It doesn't say a number on here. I don't know. Anyway, it's Pro Taper, universal bar clamp. That's all I can tell you. Solid mount. It works good. Okay, per instructions, obviously, you're going to put the bar on next. Now, you want to slide this on. If you're not planning on modifying the bar at all, it's just a simple way to do it so you don't have to disconnect all your cables, is just slide the throttle tube over the bar first, and then, you know, then clamp it down. Now my original clamp had twisted a little bit, so that's what kind of why I put this mounted at 100% up right now, is because I want to make sure everything lines up. It got twisted in the accident. I'm going to make sure the bolt underneath here is tight after I get everything situated, but it seemed pretty good, but I'm going to check it anyways. But now that we have it semi tightened up here, because I'm not also sure if I'm going to adjust the total length here on the ends, you know, I'm going to have to just unmount this and slide the tube over afterwards. But right now is the point in time where if you're going to cut the bar, is now with the hacksaw or tubing cutter, which I recommend the tubing cutter. It just, I use you know, I've cut tubing, and it's a lot nicer to use an actual tubing cutter so instead of the hacksaw. I'm always ugly cutting with the hacksaw, so I don't recommend the hacksaw unless it's absolutely necessary. But for now, right, it's going to be a personal preference point now what you want to do with the bar. But for now, we're going to figure out and adjust accordingly. All right, after deep thought and scrutiny, I decided that we're not going to cut the bars. It's only going to be about a 1/4 inch difference. Not really worth the effort of trying to cut them down. I'd leave them nice stock, not even have to worry about, you know, damaging the paint underneath it. And it's not really enough of a difference for me to really worry about it. If I want to later, we can do it later. It's not a big deal. We're at a pretty good point. They're not hard to do anything else as far as adjustments. But for now, I just literally just rolled the old one off of here, just peeled it off. There really wasn't much left of that grip. But now, what you got to do is adjust the new grip. There is 2 grips. One's small than the other. This one's the throttle side. So just make sure you know, using the correct one on each side, or you're going to have a real hard time getting this one to go on that one because it won't fit. And also this one fits way too loose on this side. You don't want that. You want the right grip on the right side. So yeah, I just got to cut the little end off here, just so I'll go right to the gray here and cut it, and that should be perfect length for what I need. And not be a problem. All right, just to make sure all the stuff is off it and maybe give it a little bit extra area to grab. I grabbed a red scuffy pad and just kind of clean up the grip and make sure it's got a little bit of maybe a gripping surface, because it's pretty shiny stuff. And I mean, I don't know if this is good stuff to use, but I just got a little bit of Windex, spray it down and just wipe it off, all the excess crap that was underneath there. I don't know if it was dirt or glue or what it was, but really wasn't much under there. As far as I don't know how they actually mounted from the factory. I never had a problem with it, to be honest with you, but it always grabbed pretty good. But it's just, you know, didn't seem like they had much on there for anything to glue it to, so I'm not too worried because I'm using the glue. It should stick pretty good. And this is Pro Taper's glue, instant grip glue. It's a custom formula grip glue. It says bonds to in 10 to 25 seconds. So you don't have much time once you get it on there to make sure you're in the right spot, but you don't want to use it for about 24 hours if you're just using the glue. I'm going to do both, and I'm not going to go riding anyway, so I got too much more to do before I can actually go riding with it. But you want to make sure that you have plenty of time before you actually go use the bike after you glue it, because even though it's going to be pretty much solidly stuck on there, it's not a full cure, at least as far as that's how everybody else has told me, and I don't want to try to chance it. So just get this glued up and going. Gotta cut the tip off of here, I believe. Nope, it's open already. Okay, we're good to go. Let me see where to put that other. Oh, there it is. All right. Never done this. I'm always so bad with glue too, so you guys are gonna have fun watching me glue myself to myself here. This is obviously better to do it when it's on the bar, but because I'm afraid I'm gonna get glue inside here from that grip, I want to be able to clean it up right away. It's really awkward. Probably doing this all wrong. All right, let's attempt to get this together. No, stay put. Ah, come on, go. Yeah, a little bit went inside there. Not good. Ah, sticky. Let's get that out of there, and we'll be good to go. It's freaking tacky glue, man. Ugh. Yeah, that's not going anywhere, I can tell you that right now. I think it's because it went right to the plastic. It really stuck, so that's good. And again, the only reason why I did this is because I want to make sure that I didn't get any of the glue that went in there. I can just kind of clean it up. I'll probably just get a little piece of sandpaper, make sure that it's not, actually it doesn't feel bad, but make sure we're not going to have any interference with the glue. And that grip is on there, and it's past the bar end piece right here, which is all it needs to be. And of course I got glue all over myself, so as per usual. And I could care less. Those grips are going to be dirty in a little while, so once I start riding, they're going to become crappy looking anyway. So it got a little glue on the end there, not a big deal. But thought it works nice. Got plenty of play, not worried about it. Should be good. Grip is on for the most part. It's probably the worst way to do it. I don't know. If you guys are probably professionals out there, somehow came across this, you're probably laughing your ass off at how well I do that, but I don't care. I'm just doing it to do it. And I believe this isn't going to be a problem, and this is going to clamp. So I can do this side as well right now. So let's do it. I'll cut this one afterwards, just to make sure I don't slide it too far on there. All right, so we're doing good. All right, now I kind of forgot about this, but Zeta, when I bought the handguard kit, came with two expanding plugs. These were the ones that fit the other bar. These bar ends are actually very large on the ends here. The other ones are very tightly fit. They're thicker, so these actually fit perfectly, actually better than the other ones. So I already have the expansion plug. So if you had the original Zeta kit on your bike, you have the expansion plugs that should have come with the kit to fit a new bar end. So you're actually set to go. All you got to do is retrieve the little expanding nut right here, which I was lucky I got these back out. So that's the only thing you got to worry about, is getting the nuts back out. So all I did is I get it out here and then I just tap it, and I got the expanding nut out of there, and then these should go right back in, no problem. Okay, we're pretty much back together. The Zeta handguard's back on there. It's a little tweaked a little bit. I'm not really going to be too worried about it. I can't get it perfect. They weren't perfect to start with, but they're relatively where they need to be, and they're not bad at all. So we're gonna just kind of work with it. Got the new foot peg on there while I was playing around. I wanted to stand up on it and make it, you know, how it's supposed to be. New brake lever went on, no problem at all. And I did want to show you something. I did it on one of them. The grip wire, I'm not really sure if it's really 100% anywhere necessary after that glue that I got everywhere. Seemed to really stick very well. I'm going to be honest with you, that is a pretty tight hold to start with, but if you do feel, especially if you're going to be doing some real heavy duty off-roading and you're not sure, this is a pretty quick and easy way to do some grip wire if you've never done it before like me. I cut a little short here. I don't have much grip wire here, so I'll probably just do the two little spots here, but just kind of wrap it around like that. Try to get it in the groove here as best you can, and just grab a pair of vice grips, which I just happened to put in my pocket. There it is, and just kind of twist them together. Just cross them, and then just start. You know, make sure you're where you want to be, because get in there, get in there. There we go. Okay, so we're straight all the way around, and then just start twisting it together. Pull it down a little bit, and then twist it up, and that's a pretty tight hold there. Doesn't affect the throttle at all. I don't know why it would, but I'll check it anyways. And then you just take a little, cut it, kind of long. I kind of made a mistake earlier not doing. I had to do another one over again. But these wire cutters suck, by the way. But give yourself like a 1/4 inch, just like that, and then just take it and push it over with the pliers. Hopefully you're getting this. Sorry. Just kind of push it over, and then just push it right into the grip. It's kind of hard to do. There you go. Get it in there, and it'll bury itself in there. Of course I can't get it. There we go. And it's nice and in there. It's not going to grab you, and I don't think those grips would be going anywhere anyways, but that's it. And my perfect install. You know, it's tough to get everything perfect. As I said, you know, it's more preference than anything when you get your controls set up. I'll probably be fiddling with them for the next God knows how long, because I'm never happy until I like fiddle with it about 1,000 times. Then, you know, something will happen. You know, it's just the way it is. But in any case, there she is. She's back together as far as that goes. All I'm going to do is rewire my fender eliminator. And if you're going to do any touch-up, get something that's, you know, rust prevention on the back, because most of this is aluminum, but some of it is steel, like the back here. And because we're in New England, we got salt and everything, and all these little spots here. Probably get a little touch-up brush, and I also bought some undercoat. I'll probably do a little undercoat on the top here, because that's where the seat rubs. That's not from anything, like, it's just wear from the seat and everything there. I want to protect it because this is a steel tubing, and I want to make sure that we don't get any real heavy rust or anything in there, and you know, just try to protect it a little bit. So got some silver Krylon rust and tough enamel, and you know, scuff it up a little bit, clean it up, make sure you have a clean surface, and you can touch up all your damage when you have it. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much there. That was the biggest part, I think, of the whole thing, was just getting that together, and the rest of it is just going to be plug and play out. I gotta do couple splices on the new fender, you know, just the eliminator. I just got to put it together, pop it on there, and it should be good to go. Oh, and one other thing, I did grab, I don't remember if I said it in the other video, that's why, kind of hard to say. This is a WR250R rear connector set. If you remember the last video when I did the DRC fender eliminator kit, the connectors I got were all separate. You had to wire it up yourself. It didn't have any wires. It was just the prongs and the connectors, the plastic inserts, you know. This is already pre-wired to everything you need. So you don't even have to worry about doing the little tiny connector crimps. It's already set in this kit. Although I'm not going to use this. I bought it just as it was part of the kit, but you don't need to do it. You can just, I'm going to just do, because these are already like stubbed out. I already have my other one already set. So what I'm going to do is just reuse what I've already done. I think I said the last time, just take this and splice it in however I need to in the new kit. So I don't even have to worry about, you know, getting into it again. But I wired these all up myself, where those, all you got to do is just connect the wires to wherever you need them to go. So you don't have to mess around with those little prongs. It's a new, well, I wouldn't say it's a new kit. It's just something I found new to myself, and it's called the WR250X and R rear connector set, part number CON-R-WRX. So if you have any kind of questions or anything like that about wiring or anything like that on those, just don't hesitate to comment. But these bars went together really nice. It was pretty simple. It took me a lot longer because I'm doing the video, but really it's a pretty fast install. I'd say you could do it within an hour if you have plenty of time and all your tools, you know, at the ready. It's not a bad setup at all. I think it'll be great, and it's just personal preference from here how you set the rest of it up as far as angle and actual what bars you go with. But I'm pretty impressed with these so far. With just you know, everything that everybody kind of talked about it. So, and it feels good when I got on there. It's just a little bit of getting used to and sizing and moving it around if necessary. But until I get the whole thing together, I'm really not gonna know how I want it to be situated. Next thing to do is go get a license plate, because mine is totally screwed. Yeah, I can't even get out of the old brackets. It got crushed so bad. So I'm glad nothing else really got damaged on the bike. It's just minor stuff, and it's just an expense. But you know, nothing too bad. We're ready to go. We could go now. I just don't have a real light. Just as long as you're in the trails, who cares? But yeah, the rest of it's going to be just getting her back together like it was before. So you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this kind of gave you some insight on doing bars. You know, maybe it's the next logical step in as far as an upgrade to go is get yourself a nice set of bars for the front. Everybody seems to have done it on their bike, so why not you, right? Now that I'm up to speed, now what else can I do? I think we'll do a rear rack eventually. We'll see. But we got to figure that out later. Have a great night, guys. Back in action.